I see myself as a leader who drives digital transformation because that is all I know. I mean, I have been into it day in, day out. It's into my DNA now. I plan to lead initiative, not only enhance operational efficiency, but create value for the customers. So that is one of my professional goal, which I already do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors, where we bring you inspiring conversations with visionary leaders who are reshaping industries and driving transformation in their field. Today, we are honored to be joined by none other than Mr. Dhiraj Kumar, a leader whose career spans over 2.5 decades, marked by exceptional achievements in IT and business consulting. Dhiraj has led global teams, pioneered digital transformations, and delivered impressive results across industries. His strategic mindset and passion for innovation have not only driven business growth but also redefined what it means to lead with purpose and integrity. But that's just the beginning. Stay with us as we uncover the remarkable journey of Mr. Dhiraj Kumar and discover how his leadership continues to shape the future of technology and businesses. We welcome you on the show, sir.
Thank you, Tanay.
Honestly, great to have you with us today. Like looking back at your career, was there a moment early on that really sparked your passion for this field? Like, what was it that made you realize this was the path you wanted to take, and how did your journey unfold from there?
First of all, Tanay, thank you for having me here, and thank you for a wonderful introduction. So let me go back at least 26 years, or including my engineering, almost 30 years back, right? When I qualified my engineering for Birla Institute of Technology, Mesra, Ranchi. So there was indeed a defining early moment that sparked my passion for field of information technology. It was during my time at Birla Institute of Technology, where I was doing my mechanical engineering. And initially, I had actually no intention of coming to IT field. My focus was entirely on building a career in mechanical engineering. However, you know, what you think never happens. So I faced continuous rejections from all the top mechanical companies during my campus interview. And the top three rejection, the first three, in fact, being even the topper of my engineering branch, I was rejected by Tata's, I was rejected by L&T, and I was rejected by ABB. So these were the top three companies that used to come to my campus for hiring mechanical engineers. And that kind of made me think that why can't I look for something else other than mechanical engineering? And out of just necessity and curiosity, it was never planned, as I said, I decided to explore opportunity in IT companies. And this decision was unplanned, as I said, but it turned out to be a pivotal moment. I vividly recall the first few tests and interviews I appeared for during IT campus placements. The process was unlike anything I had encountered before. So it was challenging, exhilarating. The emphasis on problem solving resonated deeply with me. I'm a guy who loves to solve the problems. And the selection process was very different than a typical mechanical engineering process that included verbal and written communication, analytical capabilities, and in general, total personality assessment of any individual, which was not there in mechanical engineering. And that was kind of a moment of realization when I understood how well suited that field for me. That is kind of a strength and interest set to the course for my career. So, despite starting with no prior plans to enter IT, I embraced the opportunity. It offered a lot of enthusiasm. The dynamics and fast evolving nature of the field has kept me engaged ever since, providing countless opportunity to learn, grow, and solve meaningful problems. So I think that was something which I would say is the defining moment where I thought about doing something else, but I ended up doing something else. And during my starting career, I think first 2 years was very critical for me, where I had to learn a lot of new technologies, learn languages, a very different kind of setup where I had to deal with all the foreign clients. And to my surprise, I ended up in UK soon after 2 years of joining my first IT company. So that was kind of um, gave me a very, very quick decision making that this is it. This is what I want to do in my life because I'm doing well. I enjoy learning new technologies. I enjoy working in something which is having a lot of problem and challenges. So yes, I think this is what I would recall as my turning point, which created a passion and a change in direction of my career towards IT.
So, in your role as director for a large e-commerce company for IT and management services, you achieved the remarkable feat of doubling your team size in just 2 years. So, what were
Mhm.
some of the key factors that drove this rapid growth? And how did you balance expanding the team with maintaining the operational efficiency that's so crucial in your line of work?
Okay. Um, So the company which I'm talking about, the big retail company and the e-commerce company, was coming to India for the first time. So biggest challenge for me was that the organization was new in India and nobody knew it. And that was in India, right? People go for the brands, people go behind the names, right? This company was new in the Indian IT landscape, and it used to deal with a range of technologies where I needed a variety of technology skills as well as different experience levels in order to deliver the work that I'm supposed to from India. And attracting talent to a new organization is always a challenge. We ended up attracting talents primarily through attractive compensation for better designations. So these were a few of the drivers. My thought was to hire sustainable team who stick to the organization for longer period of time, um, because we were entering into the field and I needed somebody who can be with me for a longer period of time. So that was my initial challenge. However, there were quite a few drivers which I utilized. So the first thing was like I had to had a core team of 10, 15 people who can help me do whatever I wanted to. And that's where I leveraged my network. So before joining Sears, I worked with 4 or 5 companies. And that is my inherent nature where I believe in building a long lasting relationship. So that helped me. I went back, explored my network, and within a month or two, I got my first 10, 15 people on my team. And I think that was something which I created as a base to perform my ongoing activities in order to deliver the work. And at the same time, I wanted these guys to help me recruit. So in order to recruit, there are multiple activities that we perform. So the first thing is we tried to have partners, where we went out on the market and we hired partners who could help us with um, countless number of resumes over a very short period of time, the variety of skills, experience, and that suited my requirements. So that was first. Second, we tried to go ahead with a continuous recruitment process. So we started spending almost 3-4 hours almost every single day. As soon as we used to declare our day off, which was like around 8:30 in the night, we used to spend 2-3 hours in order to go through all the resumes that we used to get from our partners, shortlist them, give it to the talent acquisition team, and they used to connect with the candidates for the interviews. That became a daily affair. So we started to do it almost on a daily basis. And I remember for the first 4 to 5 months, we were doing weekend drives almost every weekend. And we were traveling to all different cities. It was just not Pune because the office was getting set up in Pune. Um, we we um, we went to Hyderabad, we went to Bangalore, we went to Mumbai, Delhi, and we attracted talent from all those areas. And it was like a miracle. We ended up hiring 80 people in a very short span of time of 4 months. So that was a big achievement. And I think my first 15-20 people who I hired, um, they were looking at me, uh, and the target which I was having. So they kind of um, owned the target of mine, for themselves. And they were doing literally everything. They were recruiting, they were delivering, they were coding, they were testing. So that's a kind of a dream come true as a team. And I really enjoyed the first 4 to 6 months where I built my team. And I would not take the entire credit to myself. It was those people whom I hired, first 15, 20 people, who managed to balance the work and the recruitment process simultaneously.
And it seems like a process where okay, you get people, but it is so complicated when you're looking at adding so many people to a company, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And with every single day delay, it was a cost involved.
Yeah,
So there were third parties who were doing this work, and I had to transition that. So any delay that I am doing here was costing the company to pay the third parties.
yeah,
So a lot of pressure and a lot of aggressive approach towards hiring as well as delivering the work with minimal issues. And I do remember first 6 months, no escalations, and we could hire 80 people.
wow.
Um, so I mean, I was compensated with a promotion. So, so
All's
that's
well that ends well.
that's yeah. So that was their starting point. But yes, I think it was great, and it also gave me a lot of learning how to balance delivery along with the expectations of the leaders, which are at times very difficult to achieve at a
Yeah.
very short period of time. Yeah.
So, managing an extremely large portfolio is no small feat and it speaks volumes about your leadership. So, with a substantial budget under your responsibility, what strategies did you employ to not only meet but exceed the financial objectives? Like, how did you balance the pressure of overseeing such a large portfolio while ensuring long term growth and stability for the organization?
So I look at the IT portion of the business, which is in US as of now, and it's really large, and the business owners are sitting in US. So my responsibility is to keep the entire IT up and running all the time, and we do have a very very strict SLA. It's like 1 hour of any application down results into almost $100,000 of loss for the company. So that's the kind of SLA I stick with, and that's very aggressive, and it requires a lot of planning, a lot of proactive approach in order to make all the system up and running. And my primary goal has always been to drive stability and growth while navigating the inherent complexities that the business brings in order to have a sustainable or substantial responsibility along with it. So I would possibly categorize few of the strategy. So if I look at the short term ones, that's where I am primarily looking at regular performance reviews. So be it application, be it human, be it any of the decision that we take on a day to day basis, I do a very regular performance reviews almost every alternate week in order to see how things are moving and whether we have anything which requires revision, which requires attention, and accordingly we do the course correction accordingly. So we have something called OKRs, which is objective and key results, which is tied to every individual, and that aligns to what we call as KPIs, so key performance indicators. Anybody who does anything has to tie with the key performance indicators, and that's how I regularly revisit and reprioritize and do the course correction after the reviews. The second important strategy for me is resource allocation and optimization, right? Where I deal with more than 200 people as of now, and I have 14 different areas to look at. So I need to be absolutely sure that this 200 odd people are getting utilized optimally. Everybody is having enough on their plate. Everybody is contributing right as per their skill sets and experience, and everybody is aligned to the organizational goal. So that is one of the metrics that we track almost on a daily basis because we are in an agile mode. We do change or adapt to the change almost on a daily basis. And third important aspect for me is stakeholder engagement. As I said, that I have very senior people, including my chairman and CEO, sitting in US, and it is very important that they know what is going on. So transparent and frequent communication with a stakeholder is key to building trust and gaining buy-in for strategic decisions. So I host regular updates. There are few with whom I sit on a weekly basis. There are few whom I sit with bi-weekly and monthly basis, and let them know what exactly is going on, what are the priorities, how is the progress, whether I am struggling with anything or whether I need any help from them. So these are kind of short-term strategies which I take. In terms of long-term strategies, alignment with the organizational vision is something which I always keep at the back of my mind. Whatever I do has to align to the organizational vision in a long term. So these are few of the things which I look at. Important points from a long-term perspective, long-term vision perspective is innovation. So, technology is changing every single day, right? Today, whatever I am working on today is obsolete tomorrow. And that's where my role comes in, where I need to ensure that all the state of the art, latest, efficient technologies are included in the business so that we are not behind compared to our competitors. So that's one of it. And the most important, which I would like to highlight, is risk management. As I said, that we cannot afford to have our system down even for an hour. So we need to have a very strong risk assessment and contingency planning, and it requires a lot of effort. It requires to literally unearth every single possibility of things going wrong, and we have a very strong risk management framework and contingency planning in place, which makes us stay on top of everything. And there is always a team that works in order to make things right at a very short notice. So these are a few of the things, apart from risk management. um, I mean, you asked, I think, the balancing short-term goal with the long-term objectives. How do I balance? um, See, I think these are just the positive side which I'm talking about. The negative side is, what if some resource is out for maybe 2 weeks because of some personal emergency, right? If somebody coming to office made with an accident, or if somebody is getting married, and I need to ensure that all of these does not slow down my
Yeah.
deliverables. So balancing this is really challenging. But at the same time, I think as a leader, I need to ensure that my second line is very strong. Everything does not come to me. So that's a big responsibility on my shoulder, where I try to make my second line very strong, and they take care of most of the things. I have a governance structure where I get involved when the things are very complex and the decision making is important, and the top leaders are involved in anything which is very impactful in terms of the business, and that's where I jump into the game and try to sort this out. So that's how I try to balance. But yes, it's not very easy, with such a large portfolio and with such a large number of people to handle on a day-to-day basis.
Sir, you've had the unique opportunity to work across industries like airline, finance, and logistics, each with its own set of challenges. Sir, I'm curious, how do you approach understanding the specific needs of each industry, and how has this diverse experience shaped the way you think strategically? Like, what have you learned from navigating such different landscapes that bring into your leadership today?
Okay. I think answer to this question, Tanay, is partly in my first question, which I answered, where I moved from mechanical engineering to
Yeah.
information technology, right? So I would possibly say that this is kind of an inherent feature, or it's one of my trait, where my curiosity quotient is little high. I always try to investigate or try to get into an area which is unexplored, and I try to get all the nitty gritty details. So I believe in a student till I die. I have been very curious individual right from beginning, and I always had curiosity to understand newer subjects, topics, working across industries such as airlines, finance. In fact, it is BFSI, not finance, banking and financial services, retail, e-commerce, uh, both challenging and rewarding. It was not like very easy way to do it. Each sector comes with its own sets of dynamic customer expectations and operational nuances. It requires a very deliberate and adaptable approach to understand and address the unique challenges. So as you asked that, how do you do it? And as I said, I try to be a student. So before I join any industry, I always try to learn through direct experience. So I always try to get into the shoes of a customer. So say suppose you are flying you're taking a flight anywhere, say from Pune to Delhi, and you've got a boarding pass in your hand, and then you see a sequence, a CQ, and there is a number 2 3, right, and there is a barcode, and there are tons of things on your boarding card, right? I always had this question in my mind: what does this mean for a customer, for me, right? How do I read this boarding card? Everybody sees the origin, destination, flight number, gate number. That's it, right? And once you go up, possibly the seat number. But there are tons on it, and I always had that curiosity to understand that. That helped me go through all the nitty-gritty details before I joined the airlines. Retail was my first experience. So retail was something which I was always curious about. When I used to go for shopping, when I used to place any order online. So that kind of intrigued me as to how the things used to get processed behind the scene. And that always had a question at the back of my mind: how do I know, how do I come to know, okay, when I say on Amazon order, place order, what happens behind that? And that gave me a lot of exposure, what you call top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, supply chain management, order management system, notification system, a lot of all those things. So I always try to have an immersive research. So being a part of that system to understand what are the fundamentals and dive deeper into it, sit with the experts, collaborate with them, understand very small terminologies. Right? When I was in airlines, somebody pronounced MTOW. I said, "What is MTOW?" Right? The MTWO, MTOW. And I was like absolutely unaware about that term. And I was heading a product of airlines. So very small thing. MTOW is nothing but maximum takeoff weight of a plane. Okay. And so I started getting through a lot of documentation, a lot of online coaching, etc. But one thing I strongly believe in, it does not take a lot of time for anybody to get into any new domain. I think most of the people sit on the edge and think about it, that it may be very difficult, it may be very challenging. But I think for me, it motivates me because I have something which I don't know, and I want to learn about it. And there are tons of things. I mean, in today's world, learning is not a problem at all.
Yeah.
So, but I have also learned few lessons from this. Knowledge in one sector of the industry never go waste. I mean, if I have to see the customer expectations, it remains constant, irrespective of what segment or what industry you are working in.
100%.
They require flawless service, they require quick service, require cheap service. All these things are common when it comes to customers, right? But when it comes to the efficiency or the application functionality, that differs. And I have always tried to see whether whatever I've learned in one industry, can I apply in another one?
Yeah.
Right. So that cross implementation has helped me understand, and many a time I have implemented learning from one industry to another. So that's kind of a leadership approach that I have taken. That navigating such diverse landscape, it has shaped me into a leader who prioritizes both a strategic visions and operational excellence. I bring a big picture perspective, a focus on innovation, and ability to connect seemingly disparate ideas to create cohesive and impactful solution. So that is what I have learned in almost all the industries.
Yeah, and like you said, your initial transition probably from a mechanical engineer to IT just set you for it that
Yep.
it's okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Sir, given your vast experience in IT consulting and digital transformation, what role do you believe emerging technologies like generative AI and RPA will play in reshaping business operations in the next 5 to 10 years?
That's the question of the decade.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, AI is something which is having a profound impact across industries, and many of the people even don't know that they are using AI.
Yeah.
Right? It has already seeped in, and it has saved it into so many things that you do on a day-to-day basis that you don't even realize. I'm already witnessing the impact it is creating to the business and customers experience. So I think the um, first impact, or the first area which I believe that it is going to make a huge difference for the company, is hyper personalized customer experience. Right? Every customer is different. I cannot have a solution, or I cannot have a service which suits 1,000 customers. I have
Yeah.
to every customer understand their inclination, understand their temperament, what that customer wants from my company or my services, and tweak my services accordingly. AI is able to do that significantly. I mean, in my current organization, I have n number of bots which are driven by AI, and they talk to a Spanish customer, they talk to French customer, they talk to Italian, they talk to English. You never know how many languages, right? It is virtually not possible to have one individual who can handle this, right? So this is one of the biggest area which I see, and the speed at which an AI interacts and analyze with the data sets and predict an individual preferences of any customer is just unbelievable. And I have been looking at it day in day out, doing it in my current role. So that's, I think, the first which I believe is most important. The second one is advanced decision support. um, as a leader, it is enabling leaders to take um, decisions which used to take months. Now we are taking it in days, and it all goes to AI, because most of the decisions that leaders are taking are data driven, and AIs are able to do that analysis and forecasting and financial modeling and
Yeah.
all that in just blink of an eye. Right?
Yeah.
So that decision making is becoming very fast for the leaders, and it has a direct impact on any business that leaders are leading for any business. And the third one is generative AI, as you said, generate, right? It can generate anything. It can generate text, images, songs, code, name it. And I mean, as of now, the only thing which is
Anything.
it is not giving you food in front of you,
That's all.
but it is doing almost everything, right? So I think content creation is going to go to the next level. Recently, I interacted with at least 5, 6 tools which does different things. So coding is one thing, like blackbox.ai. You write a code, paste it there, it debugs it and gives you the result,
I
right?
swear.
In seconds, right? Song.ai, right? Suno.ai. I mean, you can create a song with different versions. All that, you go to ChatGPT and say, okay, I need to create a song for my organization. It writes you the lyrics,
Yeah.
copy that lyrics, paste it in Suno.ai. It gives you a composition and music. So your song is ready in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? That is the power of content creation, and anything that you want to do with AI. And I think the most important is enabling the research and development. So
Yeah.
that's something which used to take exceptional number of hours for any human to do any research.
Yeah.
All that you need to do here is to feed it with the data points, and it will give you the results. So industries like healthcare, where R&D is very high, automobiles, where R&D happens almost every single day, space and research, R&D is like day-to-day business for them. These are the areas which are going to see a lot of transformation in next 5 to 10 years. So that is the AI part. I think RPA is something which I personally feel is more towards efficiency and accuracy compared to generative AI. So anything which is repetitive, anything which is having or which are prone to errors, RPA is the solution for it. I have been doing it since last 15 years in my different roles, and I have eliminated so many things where there is a possibility of errors, where the time taken to perform that task is very high. So elevating the efficiency and accuracy is the result of RPA. I think it is going to go out in every industry.
Yeah.
Wherever you have a lot of people sitting doing the same thing over and over and over again, that's where RPA is going to rule in next 5 to 10 years, and you will see those people doing something better. So I personally believe that these two areas are not threat to jobs, but it is giving you an opportunity to do something better, right? So I think that's how I see AI and RPA playing a role in next 5 to 10 years.
Yes, very well said. Like when people imagine computers coming in, they thought everyone would lose their jobs. But it just created a
Exactly.
new industry. And I guess similar is going to happen here where we're going to move to other things that create a difference, right?
Yep. I mean, you can see organization that do not have enough money to move from their old systems.
Hmm.
Like there are companies which are still on mainframes, right? Big
Correct.
companies. You
Yeah.
name the banks, you name airlines, they are all having mainframe at their key system. Nowadays, whatever technologies that are coming are not supporting mainframes. So there has to be a layer in between which make the new system understand the language of the legacy systems, which are mainframes or maybe very old databases like Informix and all that, which are like outdated nowadays. And but the companies are not able to afford transition or digital transformation. So they create a layer in between where you speak one language and they make it understand to the system which are recent, which are
True.
a state of the art new technology. So these are a few of the benefits that we are getting out of it. And again, I think one thing which I would definitely like to highlight here is um, although we are talking about AI so much, almost on a day-to-day basis, but there is a flip side to it. We still do not have regulatory authorities which is consistent across the globe. We do not have standards. There are a lot of questions on ethics, lack of skills.
Yeah.
Uh, if you go and ask anybody who knows AI, they are like costly, exorbitant. I won't say costly; they are exorbitant. You need deep pocket to pay them,
Yeah.
right? So these are the flip side of having AI in any organization.
True. Very well said,
Yeah.
sir. So, with your extensive experience and leadership in multiple industries, what are your key aspirations for the future, both professionally and personally? Also, as you continue to evolve in your career, how do you see your role in the boardroom evolving in the coming years, especially as industries and leadership expectations continue to change?
Okay. I think that's what I have been thinking. And um, so, Tanay, as far as my professional aspirations are concerned, I see myself as a leader who drives digital transformation because that is all I know. I mean, I have been into it day in, day out. It's into my DNA now. I plan to lead initiative, not only enhance operational efficiency, but create value for the customers. Right? So that is one of my professional goal, which I already do, and whatever role I would be playing in future, I would definitely like to stick to that. Um, I aspire to be a forefront when it comes for forefront of integration, a state of the art technologies into the business. Um, One more thing which I am very fond of professionally, I love mentoring and coaching, and that's kind of my passion. And I see that as one of my key trait going forward in order to enable or empower the next generation leaders. So if you refer to my earlier answer, I was referring to my second line, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I have used this trait in order to make my second line very strong. So I personally believe that this is one thing which can change significantly the new generation leaders, and I can bring a lot of value based on my earlier experience, which can make these individuals thrive, innovate, grow, and use their full potential, can be used to their full potential, right? So new generation leaders are required to approach challenge with conviction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as of now, there are a lot of doubtful, I mean, self doubt. Many people are having self doubt. That is a killer, which I personally feel. So I aspire to promote that, where I need to see my second line um, going head on with any challenge with confidence and conquer anything. Um, I also aspire to promote diversity and inclusion in any organization. That's one area where I feel that there are major organizations that still lack that. There are still a bit of differentiation between different genders, categories, and I personally feel that that's important. So I'm involved with a lot of CSR initiatives in my different organizations that I've worked with in the last 10 to 15 years, and I've executed quite a few. So wherever I go, I would like to do professionally. I also see myself playing a pivotal role in the boardroom, as you asked. How do you see that? And contribute to a very high level strategic decision as industries evolve and leadership expectations shift. That is where I'm dealing with almost every single day. Being agile is the key to leadership. And I strongly believe that agility gives you a lot of freedom to do things. You are not bound to do a particular thing for a very long period of time. As the leaders change their expectations, shift their expectations, you need to be ready
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
accept that change and do the required course correction rather than getting frustrated that okay, all my work is going to be in vain and now I have to start afresh. So that mindset has to go out. I am already living with that mindset, and I believe that my diverse industry experience equips me to bring a diverse perspective to complex challenges. So I aim to foster innovation that align to organizational strategies. So that's possibly a long answer for my professional one. Personal one, I have always been a big advocate of a healthy work and life balance. Um, I believe working extra hours is lack of efficiency. If if you are not able to finish your work within the stipulated working hours, you need to think otherwise, and you need to utilize different enablers in order to make your work done within that number of hours so that you can spend time with your family, friends, do your personal whatever you would like to. Um, and personally, as I said, I'm curious. So I would definitely like to learn as and when I go to any organization, play any role. I read somewhere that if you don't know anything and if you are asked to do a job around that, say yes, learn it and deliver it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
never
the
say
line
no.
of.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was the Virgin Airlines CEO, if I'm not wrong, if I will recollect it. So that's what I think my mantra is too. I never get scared by seeing something which is new, which I don't know. Jump into it, be a student, go to the maybe junior most person in the team to learn that, and then and try to understand and master that, be it a technology, be it a domain, be it anything else.
Yeah.
And personally, I think I feel good when I go and give back to the society. So that is another thing which I highlighted, that I'm part of CSR initiatives where I work. So that is also one thing personally I would like to continue wherever I go. So these are a few of the things professionally and personally I would like to continue with.
So, corporate governance is critical in today's business world. In your experience, what are the key elements of strong corporate governance?
Oh, this is really interesting. Tanay, anything and everything in an organization, when it comes to corporate governance, it revolves around three, four key elements. And I think the first one, which is very important, is transparency. Whatever you are doing as a leader in any organization, you need to ensure that all your stakeholders have access to accurate, timely, and relevant information, which is readable, which is understandable. You don't need to make complex. So transparency, along with precision and along with a concise representation of the information, that is very much required. I think that is the first element as a part of corporate governance. The second is accountability. I still see there is a lot of scope when it comes to accountability. When it comes to success, everybody tries to own it. When it comes to failure, nobody nobody wants to. So accountability is all about defining clear roles, responsibilities, owning it, ensuring individuals and teams are answerable for their decisions and actions. So I'm doing it day in day out. I have created my own governance structure along with my stakeholders, with my team internally, and there are a lot of frameworks too, which define something like RACI, if you've heard about, responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Who is going to do what? So that there is no ambiguity in terms of
Yeah.
accountability. Who is going to own this? And that gives me a peace of mind because I have a face, a name, get connected to if something goes wrong or if something goes right. So fostering a culture of ownership is something which is very important. And another one which is very important for me is leadership, which which has a lot of ethics, right? So ethical leadership, it just sets the tone for the organizational culture and values, ensuring that decisions align with integrity, and it does not have an exception. So
Yeah.
you cannot have some sort of excuse that okay, this was the situation and hence I did that. That is not what you want, right? You have to have a very um, spontaneous response to anything. So it has to get inculcated in the leadership personality that yeah, whatever you do is ethical for the organization, for the society. So that's another element. And one element which I highlighted earlier as well, risk assessment and oversight. As a corporate governance, you could not write everything to fall through the crack. So you need to have a very tight risk management or risk governance model with your organization, and you cannot be off guard when it comes to your deliveries, when it comes to your deliverables for the customers. That is creating value for the organization.
Yeah.
So I think these are few things. I personally believe in another framework called RAID: risk, assumptions, issues, and dependencies. So these are the four things, irrespective of the type of project that you are executing, irrespective of the size of the company that you are running, this thing becomes very important. What are the risks? What are you assuming? Whether you have really validated your assumptions, the issues that is expected to occur or have already occurred, and what are the dependencies that is driving your deliverables. So these are few of the things which I personally feel that is very important when it comes to corporate governance.
Yeah. Sir, you had the opportunity to engage with Directors Institute. Could you please share your experience with us and how it has influenced your approach to leadership and governance?
Well, that's something which I personally believe is very transformative for me so far, particularly in understanding and applying the principle of effective corporate governance. So, whatever I just talked about, there is an element of contribution from Director Institute too. However, I had been doing it for a very long period of time, but the perspective which Director Institute has given me towards this is very critical. Um, the institute's resources, its course, the content of the course, the network, the teachers. I mean, the professors or the directors who come to teach us are absolutely awesome. The kind of practical examples that they give while they explain certain concept of corporate governance is really something that sits in your mind and does not go out anywhere. So that is one of the very critical factor whenever some institute teaches any new concept to anybody. It has to go through practical examples, and that is, I think, one of the key when it comes to Directors Institute. And it has been really instrumental for me in shaping my leadership and governance practices. It has given me extensive exposure around regulatory matters, which are key to corporate governance. It has equipped me with the tools to navigate the complexity of modern business environments while staying grounded in the principle of integrity and accountability. So overall, whatever time that I have spent with the Directors Institute so far, I think few of the takeaways which I can talk about. One is I really like the way it talks about do's and don'ts of corporate governance, right? With real-time examples and what result it derived to if the don't was done by any board or any board of directors. How did it impact the organization and the individual himself or herself? Second is making a strategic decision in complex business environment. So there are just too many nitty-gritties that came across while I was doing the course, and it definitely helped me understand what are the key drivers when a board or a board member or a independent director makes a decision. Third is the boardroom dynamics, which I was really blown away by because it's having just too good of a content. Mr. Jishan Pathan has really given wonderful explanation of boardroom dynamics with a very good note, references where I can go and expand my knowledge around that boardroom dynamics. And transparency and integrity, accountability are always key part, which I have learned, but that went to the next level when it comes to the boardroom dynamics. So I think these are few of the takeaways which have changed me as a person. And I have now a different perspective looking at overall governance, be it corporate, be it a small team or an organization. So that's what it has added to me so far.
Lovely, sir. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us today on FaceTime with Leaders. Your remarkable journey through IT consulting, digital transformation, and corporate governance has truly been inspiring because it's not every day that we hear firsthand about the challenges and triumphs that come with leading global teams, driving innovation, and shaping the future of business across industries. Your insights on leadership, the evolving role of technology, and the importance of strong governance have provided us with a wealth of knowledge, sir. So, thank you for being so candid and sharing your expertise with us. We look forward to seeing how you continue to make an impact in the years ahead. To our listeners, I hope you found today's conversation as enlightening and inspiring as we have. Stay tuned for more stories from extraordinary leaders like the one we have in front of us today. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
Thank you, Tanay. Thank you for having me here. It was pleasure talking to you.
Same here. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.